The mind force. Scanners. Their thoughts can kill.
What's going on, all you wild ghouls and mutants? Logan Myerz back here for Cinephellas.com. Tonight, I'm going to be talking about a director, one of the better directors of the genre, a director from the Great White North, and I'm talking about David Cronenberg's 1981 film, Scanners. So Scanners is a movie I definitely watched on VHS back when I was a kid. First time revisiting this in a long time. My favorite David Cronenberg film is The Fly, which I reviewed last year right here on 31 Days of Horror on our YouTube channel. Had a great time with that movie, watching that again. So with that being said, I checked out Scanners once again, and this is just a mindfuck of a movie. What I love about David Cronenberg, he's very creative, very unique. He thinks outside the box. He has movies that make you think at the very end. They don't really tell you all the answers in the movie. It just really makes you think and kind of ponder the movie that you just watched. And Scanners is definitely one of those films. To set up the film, we have Cameron Vale, played by Stephen Lack. He is a homeless man. He comes across this doctor, finds out he has these sort of powers, and throughout the course of the film, he learns how to really use these powers, these telepathic powers. And it really has to do with this drug, having to do with babies that give him these superpowers, essentially, or larger-than-life powers, such as telepathy and messing with people's minds. And that's really kind of the setup of the film, where they're going with this movie. And early on in the film, we're introduced to Michael Ironside in the most famous scene from the movie. If you guys have never seen this, you would know the scene I'm going to be talking about, where the guy's head explodes. But it sets up Michael Ironside's character, Daryl Revick, and he's the head of this like underground group of scanners, what they call them, these people with powers, with telepathy. He's in charge of this group, and it's really kind of starting a war of using these powers for all the wrong reasons. And he shows up early in the movie and he makes this guy's head explode, and that's how I felt watching this. My mind was blown, like, what the fuck is going on? Just like early on in the film. It's probably one of the greatest practical effects and greatest effect scenes of all time, or especially in horror movies. Just one that many people know, and that scene really looks great and holds up all these years later, almost 40 years later. So that's the early scene in the movie, and then really kind of shows what the tone and atmosphere that Cronenberg's going for in this film. Cameron Vale, throughout the film, is really discovering these powers one by one. He's taking out these people, setting up a lot of really great kill scenes, and sometimes a little bit over the top, but in terms of the effects, it looks really great. Taking out these bad people that are part of this organization, underground community of scanners. It really sets up a lot of great scenes. And I think Michael Ironside, being the main villain in this film, playing Daryl Revick, I think he's absolutely fantastic. One of the best performances of the movie, if not the best. Something very sinister and evil about this guy, an actor. He's obviously known for playing a bad guy. He was from Top Gun, Starship Troopers, Total Recall. I mean, the list goes on and on. This guy's been active for a long time. Probably one of the most notorious villains or bad guys in cinema history, and he's really great in this role. And early on in the movie, you get to see what this character is about, and throughout the film, obviously you find out how evil this guy is and where his intentions are, having to do with this underground revolt, having to do with scanners and these people with abilities and powers. So it's really fantastic, really good storytelling, and really great character development. Cronenberg always has the best practical effects set design in his films, great scores, and this is definitely a great example of all of those. Really great practical effects. A lot of the kill scenes having to do with these powers, obviously the one scene I was talking about. But throughout the whole movie, I mean, there's just a lot of really great, well done effects. Considering this was done 40 years ago, it looks more believable than most movies in 2020, if that's saying something. CGI should really die. And because practical effects is where it's all at, it's authentic, it's all about the craftsmanship. Other scanners they introduced in the film, one's played by Jennifer O'Neill. She plays Kim, and she's really great in this movie. She kind of comes in through the second act of the film, and I thought she was really great. There's a lot of other characters they introduced having to do with like scientists and other scanners and things like that, but across the board is all pretty good. I think the main actor honestly was the weakest link in this movie. Stephen Lack just wasn't a really great actor a good choice for this role? I don't know. He just seemed really bland and emotionless, and his acting just wasn't good. His delivery was really forced, and I didn't really buy his character. And I think they could have probably casted somebody else for this role. I'm not really sure who, but I don't think he was a really good choice. I was looking at his IMDb. It doesn't look like he did too much. I don't think Cronenberg really brought him in for his performance as an actor. Maybe the way he looked. He's got the bug eyes. Maybe that's why he was cast. But he's definitely the weakest actor in the entire film. The supporting cast is absolutely fantastic across the board. So with that being said, rewatching David Cronenberg's cerebral sci-fi classic Scanners, I had a great time with this, watching it first time in a long time. It still holds up. All the effects are there. Really phenomenal score and music in this movie. It really kind of sets the mood and atmosphere. It's a bit of a slow burn at first, but once it finds its footing, it really picks up from the second to the third act and introducing all these characters, a lot of bad things happening, people using these telepathic powers, and really great storytelling. I think Cronenberg, this is definitely one of his better films. My favorite is The Fly, but I would have to say this is number 2 or Videodrome. Those are really great films. And a director I wish was still making movies. I think we need some more originality, more uniqueness in the film industry, directors that think outside the box and make you think after watching their films. And with that being said, an absolute blast of Scanners. It's definitely a movie you have to watch during the Halloween season and try not to get your mind blown. Boo! So I'm giving David Cronenberg's Scanners from 1981 a 4 out of 5 Cronenberg hair pieces. So I'm interested in hearing what you guys think of Scanners. What did you like about it? What didn't you like about it? What did you guys think of all those telepathic abilities? Woo! Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to hit subscribe. This is Logan Myerz signing out. My mate up here, Michael Ironside. Until the next horror movie review for 31 Days of Horror. Cheers!